Wow, now it is very simple, and I know you already know the answer. If you're interested in making money, do not join university. It is a lie, has been a lie, and this is what you're supposed to do. So at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you exactly what can you do alternatively instead of joining university. Because hey, guess what? I know this is a traditional way of view things that hey, by virtue of you going to university, you're gonna make your life successful, you're gonna be rich, you're gonna make money, and all those kind of things. Well, perhaps you're watching this video, you are a teacher, you're a lecturer, and you're a direct beneficiary of the institution, the whole system. It is okay. You have the right to feel anger, the bitterness, and all those kind of things. Or perhaps maybe you're employed somewhere and you love jobs, you love making that kind of money. You might feel bad and you might actually dislike this video. But the point is this, the point is this. There's a reality going out there. There is a group of people feel like it is true. Joining university is actually a lie and it does not have any directly translation. By virtue of you joining it, you're going to make some cash. And I'm going to argue this as an individual who has ever went through the system. I've been to university. I am a graduate, so I'm not actually arguing this from a point of ignorance. So let's get into the business, all right? So there is this notion that is sold to us when we were young that you go to university, you get good grades, and you go get a job, and then you're going to make some cash. There is nothing wrong with that. That was working with our parents, was working with our grandpas, our grandmas, and what have you. But the fact remains in 2024, it's no longer an issue. It's no longer a big deal. Some of the people who are making life in this, for example, up to date, I repeat, up to date, I have never placed a food on top of my table because of my education, because of that what I studied in university. Remember one thing, the education from all the way from kindergarten to high school, that is important. That is basic. You go for it. But the education after the high school up there, telling you you're going to study a certain thing, then you rely on education. Perhaps you go get your second degree, your third degree, and the very first, the way you start your application letter, you start with the word, I beg. I mean, seriously, who is robbing who? The fact remains is this. See, making money, it is a different set of skills that you need to acquire that is never taught on universities. And this is what I'm going to show you today, all right? See, education, to be educated, to education, or the university education, let me just be specific. A university education, obviously when we were joining it, we were told like, hey, by virtue of you joining this place, you're going to make some cash. No, that's not the reality, because in university, and those who are graduates in Kenya know what I'm talking about. There is nothing they teach you as far as making money is concerned. Nothing. Nothing. You do not get the skills. See, most of the people who are graduates outside there and they do not have the jobs, they have the skills, or rather, they do have what they studied in university, but they do not know how to make money out of it. The only way they can do is to rely on an individual who is an investor, probably someone who never went to university and actually established a business. And then you write them a letter, they employ you, you help them make money. That's the only way you make money. They never teach you how to. For example, say you are a teacher, you're watching this video. How do you make money? Most of the teachers actually make money by virtue of you teaching. Simple, you're done. For example, in Kenya right now, I'm making this video on March of 27th, around there. March of 26th or 7th, whatever. See, I'm making this, we're about to, like 4 or 5 days, the schools will be closed. Guess what will happen? The teachers will organize 2 or 3 of them, they make some remedial teaching somewhere, and then they call them tuition, and then they charge some students and what have you. That is the only mentality that they have on how they can actually make money. If you tell them they can actually submit this information that they have globally and be met by students who are outside there, who are suffering from different subjects, then can actually make some cash out of it. They do not know how to make money out of it. You get what I'm saying? See, you have the information. We are living in an era where information is vital and important. So what you're supposed to do, you come here, make those content, make people understand who you are, what you have, and what you can share out there and solve their problem. And that's how you make money. University never teach you how to actually manage your cash. So you get out of the university, say you're lucky, you get a job. And then once you get a job, you do not know how to manage your finances. You're financially illiterate. You don't even know what places where, you don't know what is living below your means. You don't even know what an emergency fund, sinking fund, you don't know what is a financial discipline, you don't know what a money market fund, treasury bills, what businesses, factors to cost. You know nothing about it. So they expect you along the way, you're going to learn it by yourself. I personally get approached by people who are graduates, university graduates. Some of them are lecturers, teachers, and what have you, engineers, telling me, hey, you know what, Joseph, I am making some cash here. Well, not actually much, but I have a problem. I do not know how to invest. I do not know how to grow myself and all those kind of things. See, if you have this inspiration of actually creating wealth, creating money, making money, and all those kind of things, should I say attracting money? Because we don't make money, we attract money actually. So if you are interested in doing that, I would say remember one thing, this is the disclaimer of this video. I'm not saying that overly university is useless. No, it is not useless as per se. If you understand, you're never gonna be taught how to make money. See, if you get into it knowing exactly what you expect, then it's not gonna function as a surprise. But if you get into it, in an innocent mentality, thinking that they'll teach you how to make money, that is the biggest lie. So what you're supposed to do, get to the university, you're learning about to be a student, or rather a teacher, you're learning to be an engineer, whatever the thing they tell you you're gonna be at the end of the 4 or 5 years. And the point is this: accompany the skills of making money along the way. And that's what I always tell students who are already in university. Do I mean like they should vacate the university premises? No, you go stay there. But what you're supposed to do, go out there and learn some extra skills that can help you make some cash. Do you have even an online presence? You see, the problem that usually find people doing is that clinging on the old traditional way and then expecting a different result about their lives. That is not the point. What you're supposed to do is this. That was working for our parents. Remember, after we got the independence, we were short of teachers, we were short of engineers, we were short of all those kind of guys. So those guys, they actually grew up in an environment whereby if you never got the education at that particular point, you never had the job opportunity. So they tend to think it's still functioning the same. No, it does not function the same. Things are changing. By the way, I'm looking forward into a time whereby people will be asked, what is your social media handle? Because that will function as your whole CV. That's for sure. Nowadays, people don't even employ people. For example, say you would like to work in a radio station. They are going. The TV station, the mainstream, they are going. In Kenya, the Interior Cabinet Secretary of Kenya said, like, hey, guess what? The era of the mainstream media and the newspapers is gone. I was actually, reading some information from a certain guy whom I follow from the US, and they said this will be the last election in the US that will be covered largely by the mainstream media. The next or the subsequent elections will be covered largely by the social media, other social other handles, rather than the mainstream. So the fact remains, there is a changing environment. So if you go to school, if you go to the university studying, you're interested in making money in the future, I would suggest accompany that with some other extra skills. You can go get some graphic design, go somewhere web designing, understand what is AI. AI is taking all over things. How can you make money using the AI, artificial intelligence, and all those kind of things? Okay. Now, I wonder in Kenya, by the way, people get to learn about computer when you're done with your Form 4. See, Form 4 is like when you're done with your high school. That's the time now you're going to study about computer. While some kids in China and whatever the places are studying that thing from the time they know who they are. That's the time now they're gonna start those computer things. They have actually grow up with those things throughout the time. So the point is this: if you cling to this old traditional way, it is changing. It is not, it's just changing. And what you're supposed to do is this: obviously respect the process. I'm not here to tell you escape the matrices and whatever and all those kinds. You just need to be smart. See, learn how to swim with eagles. No, learn how to swim with sharks and fly with eagles and all those kind of things. That's what you do it. All right. So what you're supposed to do is actually amass the equipment, or rather amass what we call the skills. That yes, you're getting the education, but how can I make money out of this? For example, I remember when we used to study. If I ask a very simple question, if today you go ahead to university and study literature. There is nothing wrong with studying literature, but you know very well at the end of the day it trickles down to finances. Now, how do you make money out of the literature thing that you have? Or you only have the mentality of you can only be employed somewhere where you can teach, I don't know, Asian kids about the English and what have you. That's the only mentality that you have. How exactly can you be able to make some cash out of that knowledge that you have? See, what we lack, there is a very big gap between the skills we get from the university and also the skill that you need to survive in the real life, whereby now you can make money out of that what you studied. And by the way, if you want to know some people don't get what I'm saying, you go check the comment section. There are people who even have, you wonder, do they even listen to the video, or they just want to say something because they have something to say, or they just have to say something or something of sort. So the point is this: see, that existing gap between the getting the skills, which is nothing wrong with it, but now how to use those skills to, see, by the way, if you want to believe this, go check an average university graduate out there. If there are people who are very unemployable, are the university graduates. It is true. These are people who never have to take risks. Some of them are lazy. Actually, not even some of them. Most of them are lazy. They don't want to work. They get out of the university with the entitlement mentality. They get out of the university with this mentality. Then they blame everybody. Like, hey, guess what? It's because of my government. It is because of my parents. It's because of whatever and whoever. They just expect anything to be provided on the silver platter. It doesn't work that way. But if you look at these people who never even got the opportunity to go to university, these are the C people, the D people, and what have you. These are the people people who are in peace with the reality. They say, guess what? I'm going to go ahead and hustle, indeed, like a dropout, and I'm going to make myself at the end. And by the time this guy graduates, then they get this C guy, already they have a business in place. And then after that, guess what happens? This guy who has studied for all that long period of time, they start the letter of application with, I beg to apply for. See, I mean, seriously, can you imagine this? If then it's so much valuable, then why would you sort of plead them to employ you? And then if you're not getting this information that I'm sharing with you, it's gonna be very tough for you to actually make some cash in this real life. Okay, fine. I had the mentality when I was in university. When I was in my first year, second year, and third year, I used to have this kind of, no, that's up to second year. The third year, I used to think like, oh my goodness, I think things are wrong here. Things are wrong because things are not exactly the way I usually actually thought, because I was actually looking throughout the time, when are they gonna teach me how to make money? Not the book way, but the real way. How can I exactly do that? I never got them. So I had to do all the research by myself. I had to go outside there, do the research, make sure that I amass all the information so that I can understand what are some of the skills. And that's why you see some of the guys who come here, you may find like somebody who is a doctor, a very nice and good and wonderful doctor. He just believes he can only be get employed. Some of the people who are, social media people, not really social media people per se, but people who work in this mainstream media, someone has a very good language, good looking, you have that command, you have that charisma. They just believe that they can only be employed by a media station for them to get paid. They don't even see the aspect of them having an online presence whereby you can actually employ yourself and succeed on that particular environment. There is always two parts of anything. See, there is a business part of whatever you are employed, and then there is a career part of that existing institution. You see, for example, let's say you're employed in, let's say you're a teacher. You see, there is the teaching career, and there is a, education, or there is a, sort of a business part of that teaching. There is someone who can set up a school, and there is someone who can be a teacher. So you choose, which one do you want to be? You want to be the teacher, or you want to be in the business of the teaching? You get what I'm saying? So the point is this: if you get out of the university, and obviously they feed you with the understanding that, hey, we are feeding you to be on the career part of the business. They don't teach you on being the business part of that specific environment. And that's why you end up with this mentality, hey, guess what? And that's why sometimes if you talk to people who are graduates, you tell them to think of starting a business. They tell you business is risky, business is not okay, job is secured, and all those kind of. Then I ask you, see, if you were to reason the way you're reasoning, then probably, not even probably, you would be having a job. If you want to play it safe, or that, see, this mentality of people playing out safe here, it is why they even get manipulated by the insurance companies. They tell you, oh, life insurance. They tell you, oh, you have to do this. Oh, you have to do this. And that's why you end up doing this. See, the smart people, never forget this. The eyed will always be the ruler in the land of the blind. That's the reality. See, you either be a prey or a predator. It's simple. See, life is a competition. It's a stiff competition. And if you do not understand what goes on out there, you're going to be out there. You're going to be just, hey, blaming everybody, saying, hey, whatever you're getting paid is not enough, and all those kind of things. So just be smart. Be an individual who is an outgoing, an individual who understands, hey, if I use this route, I'm going to make this. And if I follow this route, then, and by the way, if perhaps maybe you are just an individual who love the jobs, you don't want to go to the stresses of, because obviously it's not a silver platter. You need to be an individual who can actually, have to crack the nut, meaning that you have really to be an individual who thinks deeply for you to get the entrepreneur business or entrepreneur world. That's a reality. So if you kind of an individual who feel like, guess what, I'm just okay with education, get the good grades, go get that job. If you're lucky to get the job anyway, but if you come from Africa, you definitely know what I'm talking about. That's a reality. So the guys, is good to do this. Don't think that by virtue of you having a university degree, by virtue of that, then you're successful in life. No, you're not. I ain't gonna make some cash using that just thing. You cannot justify yourself, I'm a graduate and all those guys, then I deserve. No, we don't give you things that you deserve. We give you things based on the value that you have. Simple. Money is a money is a reward given and after solving someone's problem. Is a reality, and we do not make money. We attract money, and we do so. The amount you attract is based on your value. That's a reality. And some of the people who are getting out of the university nowadays, some of them that you can't even you don't even think that they're out of the university. It's true. There's a reality. Go find out there. Go do your research, and that way you're gonna understand what I'm talking about. So this is my parting shot. Did Joseph say that people should not go to university? No. Joseph said if you have to join university, First of all, let's agree on this. The basic education all the way from kindergarten or nursery school, depends on how you guys call it, all the way to high school, that's a necessary education. That one, no doubt with it, nothing about it. You have to go to that. Now, about the university education, first of all, ask yourself, am I having a talent? Is my talent at risk if I join the university? Okay. Then what am I looking forward into getting? Because don't get surprised. They never gonna teach you things to do how to make money. That's a reality. They're gonna just impose things to do with career thing and all those kind of things. Then they tell you now you're qualified, go look for a job. You get what I'm saying? So the reality is this: I didn't tell anybody not to join university. It is okay, you can join, but join with the mentality of, hey, what else extra can I get and grab from this university that can help me to go ahead? For example, things that I was doing extra from what I was studying in university, it is what is feeding me today. And I repeat this: I've never been employed by anybody, and I've never placed food on my table based on the career that I studied. Well, should I say it was close to useless? Absolutely, looks like, because hey, guess what? All those years up to date, I've never used it. I have to eat, drink, and all those kind of things. I've never placed things on my table. Anyway, you need to be an individual who is a critical thinker. And this is why people tend to be like, hey, what's the most marketable course and career? And all. There is nothing like that. They do not exist. The reality is this: how smart can you be with what you have so that you can transform your information or your life? For example, what I studied, yes, it may have never given me the food on the table, but it has helped me in one way or the other. It has helped me to think critically, being a universal being, because at the end of the day, university should produce a universal being. That's why I think it's called university. I don't know. It is what it is. But the fact remains this: hey, you parents, you have kids that are about to join university, and then you're thinking by virtue of them joining university will be successful. Sometimes I see people celebrating their graduation and you feel mercy. Yes. True. For those who know what I'm talking about, they know. For those who have never been to university, they may think that I'm a mad. I'm not mad. I'm telling you the truth. That's a reality. So the point is this: do something about your life. And anyway, it is what it is. So see you in the next time. But don't forget, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and also comment down below. Tell me what you think. This is an open discussion, and see you in the next one.